Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. It's another exciting day as we have an unboxing for you from our good friends. Can you tell? You should recognize this box by now. From No.1. No.1 is at it again. They are constantly improving their fitness watches. And DT No.1 has brought us today the F18. They're getting into super jets. That's right. It's the F18 fitness band watch. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Let's open the box and get inside. DT No.1. I love it. I love it. It's been a little while since we had a new... Oh, I got the red one. Awesome. Wow. Now, they're the only ones coming out. You see that kind of reflection there? It's like concave. They're the only ones coming out with this 360 curved glass screen on here. Really nice aerated TPU band. We've got holes. You're going to be able to sweat with this one. It has its charging connector, metal back, heart rate monitor, screwed in nice and tight. 3 buttons on the side, nothing on this side. And inside the box, we have a manual. Before I get into that, where can you get it? I'm supposed to put this right at the very beginning, and I will, from GearBest, of course. GearBest is producing, selling, whatever, the No.1 F18. That's the current price, but check the show notes. If I've got a discount, we will definitely have it for you. By way of specs, we don't want to skip that either. This is the F18 hardware. It's using the Bluetooth 4.2, and there's its chipset, an IP rating of 68, so definitely waterproof, swimmable, all that stuff. You've got Bluetooth answering caller ID display. You won't be able to talk on it or receive calls, but it'll show you information about incoming calls. It's a TFT 240 by 240 1.3-inch touch screen. So in addition to the buttons, 350 milliamp hour battery with about a 25-day life expectancy on this. Awesome, huh? Cool. Okay, let's see that you've got a little charging thing, which is all in here tight. There we go. It's the standard 2-pin connector, which is all you need because there's no data transfer on these. And if it is lined up just right, it plugs in and it'll hold the watch. So decent magnetic coupling there. And the manual. Now we go through the manual to give you an idea about this watch. It's several pages, but I'm presuming it's multiple languages. Here's our QR code that you're going to want to scan for either the Apple iPhone connectivity or for Google Play Store, and that'll get you to the HPlus app. Of course, we'll have a link in the show notes that you can just click on, take you right to the Google Play Store for that. And more information about how to get into it, I guess. Charging it. And some of the display information. When you see the shoe, that's where you're going to get your pedometer information, your heart rate, and sleep time, and other goodies are on here. Okay, I do this again so you can freeze frame it if you want to come back and look at the manual extensively, either before or after you buy the watch, for a couple of reasons. One, you usually can't get this online. They don't do the PDF of the manuals. So you're kind of lost if you've lost your manual or if you want to check it out. And 2, it's sometimes a good way to really see if a watch is going to do what you want it to do for you by checking all of this. And lastly, sometimes I miss a few things. So if I skipped something and I didn't cover it, the manual is one of the best ways to come back and look at it. And there we go into multiple languages within this booklet. Okay, that's the basic unboxing. All that's left now is to charge it up and turn it on. Whoa, 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 I just noticed something really important. Look at this. On this particular wire, it says, please note the direction of the charger. And you see the back of the watch, and they have the charging thing up at the top, okay? So I'm going to do that, put it up at the top, and you see that the wire is coming off to the right. Yeah, that means it goes on like this to charge it. Why is that important? Well, it sticks that way, and it sticks that way too. Not well. You see, the magnet's not like lining up just right, but I guess there's enough worry that you could put it on backwards, and that would not be good for the watch. One more easy way to tell you've got it right: the wire comes on the same side as the buttons. So no matter which way you've got it, look for the buttons, make sure the wire aligns with the buttons. Let's do this. Okay, what we've got is a bright screen that gives you capabilities to do a lot of different functions, and 3 buttons. So once you learn the layout of the buttons, it starts to make sense, but at first it's like really confusing. The bottom button is your on-off for the watch. It turns it on and off when you're in your watch face, and wherever you are, it's a back button that'll take you back a level until you get to the watch face, and one more push will turn it off. It has the ability to do the twist to see the time. It's on briefly, and then it turns itself off automatically as well. Rather long right now, though. Okay, to begin with, you press the center button here. That'll also wake it up. Pressing any of them the first time wakes it up. When you press it again, you start rotating through all the options. You have step count. You have a health section. Messages, which to me looks like a shredder. I wish I could shred some of mine. You have a compass in this watch. You have exercises, and there's, of course, a lot of exercises to go through. And you have a small selection of watch faces here. Then you have your overall settings, and you're back to steps. Notice in this whole process, you never get back to the watch face. You're at one level below the watch face where everything exists. You have to hit the bottom button to get back to the watch face. So let's begin with steps. Steps, if you want to select it and go into it, is the top button. There's your step information. Now, you press the top button again, and nothing happens. That just took you into the level of steps. If you want to see these other things, you have to push the side button to get through those. And they rotate from your number of steps to your distance traveled to your calories burned based on the standard pedometer technology. Okay, to get out of here, what? You go back one level, and we're here. If I wanted to get back further, boom, you're there. And if I want to turn the watch off, we're there. Okay, we've covered steps. Touch again. Now you're into health. How do you get into it? Here. You got 2 buttons. One is heart rate. The other is sleep time from last night. Heart rate, sleep time. It's going to stay there. You're not going to get anywhere here unless you go back. But if we're on heart rate, and you have the heart rate thing all lit up in the back, and you have it on you, it is going to zero in on a heart rate. And there you go. And it'll actually stay in this mode for a long time, if not always, as long as you don't push the bottom button to take it back. So if you're exercising and you want to keep a live look at your heart rate, the watch won't stay on per se, right? But if you twist and do that, it will. Or if you press any of the buttons, it will. This one won't do anything. That will just toggle you between those two. And again, that'll bring you back one level. You got it? Okay, let's move on. After health are messages. That goes into them if you have any. If you don't, it doesn't. And I don't, and it won't, because I'm not even tethered yet. That would take us back, but I want to move on to the compass, where if I press here, I go into it. Now, as with everything, you have to do this figure 8 in order for it to calibrate where you're located. Definitely don't do it in a car. Wait till you're outside if you're going to go hiking or something. Once it's calibrated, then it's going to give you a compass. And I'm indoors. We've seen a lot of my indoor ones have worked. This one, not doing as well. North is straight at me, and that's correct, but it's not adjusting from that. So perhaps it has to do with where it is when you activate it. I'm going to go back one level. I'm going to activate it. Yeah, okay, north is over here. It doesn't... All right, now it's doing better. Now it's doing better. Maybe it was while it was calibrated. All right, so you've got a nice little compass in here. It just shows your basic positions and your degrees. And relatively accurate as far as a quick test. Okay, we want to go back, but that doesn't do it. We want to go back, but that doesn't do it. There's no other dots to go to another page, so the only way to get back one level is here. Go to the next thing, and we're looking at exercises. Go into them, and you're here. If I hit that, I'll activate walking, but if I hit that, I can cycle through all the different exercises that are on this watch. And it's got quite a few. Some of them are GPS based, and some of them, of course, are not. Walking, running, climbing, and cycling should be GPS based. If I press here, it says please go and open up GPS to turn it on. And once it gets acquired, wow, with that curved screen, I hadn't even noticed. You can see Mr. Ticks in there, and the ceiling, and the camera, and everything. It's like a fisheye lens. Great. Here it's counting time. Here it's trying to get GPS, which it's not going to do indoors, but all of that is available. Hit it again, and you can go anyway, just that your data won't be accurate. I hit go, and it goes into play mode. So presuming you've got GPS lockup, this is what you'd want to see in your screens. You're going to have your step count, which doesn't make sense cycling. What's that? Distance traveled, probably calories burned, and heart rate. Maybe it's just going into your basic stuff. If I do this, it goes to the next page, which is speed and laps, and there's your time. And this should show your heart rate in the different zones from 60% to 100%. It's reading 89 right now. I guess my finger's partly over it. There we go. And back over here to just time and GPS. And when you're in a mode that has the GPS, it'll be here. If you're not, like basketball or football, it's just going to cycle over and it'll show you just the watch face itself. But once it's acquired GPS, everything settles down in the watch and you're in business. So you have 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, in almost all of these for the exercise. This one now, we'll pause it and put it on hold briefly. See it stopped? Or it'll start it up again. The way to get out of it is this button, but you have to be in pause. Watch, if I do this, it made a marker. It took a lap or a reference point. And if I do it again, it'll take another reference point. All this gets tethered over to the app, I presume. If you want to stop everything, you first have to pause it, then you press here. And now you have options of saving it, or going back to where you were, or throwing it away. And if I cycle it here, I can go through returning, saving, or throwing it away. I'm going to throw this one away. You press the top button to do that, because remember, this only works for back. And we're back to cycling. If I wanted a different sport, like swimming or so forth, I could go through here. If I'm done, I go back. That's exercises. We're still going around at that level underneath the watch faces. One more push takes us to the watch faces themselves. That takes us into them, and now we can look at them. There's one watch face. Here's a slightly different one. It's got the data in a circle on the right. And here's an analog one. Wow, the hour and minute hand happen to be lined up, and it just shows a 12 at the top and basic information. And back to the first one. If we want to choose the second one, that should lock it in. That should take us back. Oh, I guess we were at that top level once we locked it in. And so now we turn it on and turn it off, and now you're on that watch face. Okay, we got to get back where we were. We've done steps, health, messaging, compass, exercises, and watch faces, which takes us now to settings. To get into them, we go here. You have GPS now. That's what we use globally, but hey, this is a very sophisticated watch, and it uses multiple different systems for acquiring your position. But if you select from here, oh, sorry, I'll get back to that. There's another selection for GPS, I believe. Here you can turn vibration on or off. It has been vibrating in my hand while I've been holding it. Here's sound, which has been off. We'll turn it on now. See if we get any sound. Here's contrast, and I can increase the contrast, change it from 1 to 3. What looks best for you? 1, kind of, I think, for the video. Let's lock that in, and let's go back a level. So then from GPS, vibration, sound, contrast, now we're at reset. We can reset the whole watch at this point, or we can get some about information, and it basically tells you what it is. Smart device with its serial number. We might need that for tethering. And that's it. None of these buttons do anything. The only way out of here is back, and we're back again to GPS. Now, let me try something. It may have acquired my GPS here. I'm going to press that. Yeah. I'm in GPS. This is what I was figuring out. If I press the selection now, I can have GPS and this system for acquiring your position on Earth, or that system plus GPS. I don't like having me on the screen. Go away, go away. Or I press again and I'm back to GPS. I press that and I'm out of GPS. It's just showing time. But if I press again, it's showing my actual coordinates. So it has acquired it indoors, which is really powerful that you can pick it up inside. Most of the watches don't do that. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're through everything, but let's one more time go round robin. We went all the way up to settings, and after settings, we're back to steps. So those are all the categories. Within each of these, you've looked at all the subcategories, and within the ones that could be set, we've set those, and we've looked at the different watch faces, the 3 of them available, and this is the top one. Now, in terms of tethering, this is set up to tether automatically to something called HPlus, and the HPlus app is in the Google Play Store. Here it is. When you actually open it for the first time, it's going to want you to set up your profile. So you're going to put in your birth date, month, year, gender, all that. You're going to set your weight. You're going to set your height. This should say height. That's in height in kilograms. Your goal for how many steps you want to walk and how many hours and minutes you want to sleep. Sleeping preference from when you go to bed to when you wake up. And once you've set all that stuff, and it says to be careful to make sure your phone will allow you to run this in the background because it needs to continue to tether, then you're over here into the main page of the app. You've got your profile and stuff you can adjust here if you don't like it from the very beginning. You've got the home, which is where it's accumulating all the data, and then you got your device. This is where you would bind the bracelet. These are all the different things you can turn on or off. You can change your units, all of this stuff. And we have a full-on review of this HPlus app. In fact, 2 or 3 of them. Look in the show notes. I have links to other videos right to the point where we cover this particular app. And you can go over there and watch all of the stuff with real data from a watch that I spent a few days accumulating that data for you. We're not going to do that with this one. We just wanted to give you the overview, tell you which app you're using, and show you how it basically works. So that's it. This is the No.1 F18. It's available again from GearBest right now. Check the show notes down below for a buying link, and we'll see you back here again soon for some more reviews. Thanks for watching Smartwatch Ticks, and thanks for subscribing. It really helps. See you later.